All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining again. This is going to be today's second lecture for commerce. And if need be there, then we can take next lecture as well, because this concept is to be understood from basics. Okay. Although probability of a question being asked, and especially numerical questions, probability is very low, like 0.0001% only. Question cannot be asked to you. You are not supposed to waste your time in solving the practicals, but the concept and content matter what we are giving to you only. Okay. So you have to go through from formulas, and even if you wish to solve some practical, you can solve only one practical from one specific topic, and that would be much more than sufficient. But your concept should be cleared. Okay, so again, before starting my lecture, would like to take your quick confirmation if I'm audible, if everything is working fine. Can you hear me? I just need 3 or 5 confirmations. Am I audible to you? Kindly reply in the chat box, please. Am I audible completely? Okay, thank you so much. I have got the confirmation. So I am just sharing the screen. And before, as usual, sharing the screen, I would like to request you all to keep your cell phones aside. Okay, you just have to listen to me, and that would be very much sufficient. Okay, if you just listen me, number of things shall be clear to you, and I am 100% sure of that. So now I am going to share this. And this topic is very interesting and very important as well. Why? Although the questions cannot be asked directly from this topic, but for understanding some other concepts in the research methodology for the paper 1 and for commerce and management as well, this topic is very necessary to go through. So measures of central tendency, we have already gone through from the basics of a series. I have already taught you about individual, then discrete, and then continuous series. These were the basics. These contained the data points, okay, on the basis of which further research is conducted, further research is done. Okay, so now we have to move to individual measures of central tendency. Okay, so there are only 3 measures of central tendency, although arithmetic mean can be bifurcated into 2 other forms as well, or some authors have written 5 measures of central tendency containing geometric and harmonic mean as well. In this video, we shall talk about those as well, but we should be concerned about these on prior basis. So arithmetic mean, I have already taught you, when we talk about central tendency, we always mean the arithmetic mean. Okay, our meaning is always arithmetic mean. We don't use median, we don't use mode. Why? Because a layman who is not belonging to the background of education, or who have never studied statistics, he doesn't know median or mode, he know only average. Okay, so that's why if I'm saying you that you have gone to a shop and you asked to buy some one pair of shoes, and I am asking you how many boxes of shoes were there, then you tell me on an average, you never know exact. Okay, this average is known as arithmetic mean, although the calculation cannot be exact, but this is your estimation, and estimation is always known as average. So measure of central tendency has 3 different levels or 3 different measures. First, we have to study arithmetic mean. Mean, simply this is an average. Okay, what you have to do, you have to make a total of all observations, divide by number of observations. Very simple example I'm going to give you right now. One student has got 1 mark, second 2 marks, the third one 3 marks, then 4 and 5. So their total would be 15, and total number of students are 5. When we divide this, we get 3 as average, and this is known as arithmetic mean. Okay, so this is an average. It is most popularly used because of simplicity and rigidity. So this is about mean. This is only a simple definition of mean. Everything has already been written in the notes, and you people are sound enough that you can 1 or 2 reading would be enough to understand that completely, because I am taking the lecture for clearing your concept from the basic levels. Okay. So quotient obtained by dividing the total values of a variable by total number of observations is known as arithmetic mean or average. Like I gave you the example in the previous slide. So this is about arithmetic mean. This is denoted by this sign that stands for individual observation. We have to make sum of all the observation and divide by number of total observations. So this produces us or gives us the value of arithmetic mean. So we have understood that, and let me tell you completely that maybe you belong to strictly from the stream of commerce and management. Okay, you can be belonging to that, and you would have observed that in your books of undergraduation and post graduation there have been given different formulas like simple method, then shortcut method or step deviation method, these kind of things. And I am highly recommending you do are not supposed to cram their formulas or solve their practicals. You shall be wasting your time. Okay, instead of wasting your time in solving particular things, you should spend your time productively for going through the concepts and solving just only one practical. And the time which is saved, you have to apply this to study mathematics or reasoning. Only this should be a strategy. Okay, and you have to understand me completely. So arithmetic mean I have already taught you. This is median. This is known as positional average. This is positional average. This does not contain into consideration the other thing. This is just a positional average. Let me tell you what is a positional average. 1 2 3 4 5. This is a series. What is the median? You can find this. I mean to say its value is determined with reference to its position in value column of a series. If it is contained in the middle, then that would be the value of median. Okay, median. Let me tell you, it's in a somewhat more detailed form. The middle value in a distribution below and above which, like 1 2 3 4 5, below and above which, below this part, above this part, values with equal total frequencies or probabilities. If their probability, if their frequencies are same, if the frequencies of below items and the frequencies of above items are equal, then the item coming centrally is known as median of the series. Okay, so this is the definition of that. Okay, then this thing I have wrote it that series can be of odd nature and even nature. Odd nature means 1 2 3 4 5. This is containing the items which are odd. Okay, so it can be 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this series is an even series. Okay, so in this way, for different series the formula is different, and you have to understand the formula. Okay, you can solve one practical, that would be much more than enough. And if you are, I mean to say completely that for this part, for these formulas or the formulas of standard errors, when we shall be going through hypothesis, you have to cram the formula. This is very obvious. Okay, you have to cram the formula. Otherwise, there are number of formulas. If we are going for, if you are doing practicals for all the formulas, although the formulas shall be in your mind, but even if not a single question is asked for the practical, then what shall you do at the examination? Okay, so that's why either cram it or solve at least one question. That would be much more than sufficient. Concept is already cleared. This is middle value in a distribution below and above which lie values with equal total frequencies or probabilities. So mod is the most frequently occurring score in the distribution. Okay, an item which has frequencies more than anything else. Like in a series, suppose 1 occurs 5 times, 2 occurs 3 times, 3 occurs 6 times, 4 occur 9 times, and 5 occur 1 time. Then frequency of 4 is highest than anything. So the most frequently occurring score is known as its mod. So mod of this series shall be 4. Okay, so in this way, we have understood this completely. It is never affected by extreme scores. Extreme scores means it is not affected by items below and items above the mode. Okay, so this is about mode. We have understood this, and this is the formula to find the mode. Okay, formula's definition has already been given, like L stands for lower boundary. Okay, then H stands for size of model class. I have already explained you in the previous lecture what is class, like 0 to 5 or 5 to 10 or 10 to 15, these kind of things you have to go through. Individual items you don't need to remember in your mind, but overall formula must be there. Okay, that must be there. We cannot do anything else, and there is none kind of a shortcut for remembering these kind of formulas, because these are very clear cut. So in this table, I have just written central tendency measures. First is mean, found by this, then median, found by this, then mode. Its formula can be none, because the most occurring item in the series is the mode. Okay, so their description is mean is always balance point, because this is central tendency actually. Then mode is the middle value or the positional average. And median, I'm asking about median. The last one is mode. Mode is the most frequently occurring items in the series. So in this way, you have to understand about mean, median, and mode. And some authors have written about geometric mean and harmonic mean as well. These are also of a very useful nature, because to a layman, to a researcher, or to any students who does not belong to statistics specifically, okay, so for them, mean, median, and mode are enough. But to mathematicians, okay, mathematicians or core economists, these are of smaller use. They use either geometric mean or harmonic mean, because they believe it to be much more relevant, okay, for a statistical series. So this is the reason why geometric mean and harmonic mean is there. Okay, so after 10th or matriculation examination, if you go for mathematics further, or even if you continue mathematics for your graduation and post graduation, then you would observe that you have to study these concepts, okay, geometric mean and harmonic mean, because they students or they people are very clear cut about the exact position or the exact central value of the series. So let me tell you what is the meaning of geometric mean. Geometric means is the nth root when you multiply n numbers together. Okay, now I completely understand that you have not understood this by saying only, so that's why I have just written here. You have to make those. So this was the arithmetic average. Arithmetic average means sum of all the observation divided by total number of observations. Okay, but geometric means this means multiply all the observations. Multiply 1 with 2, with 3, with 4, with 5, or number of items in the series. And you have to make under root of these, and you have to take the total numbers outside. Like you have to take here 5. In this way, geometric mean shall be found. So this was written in the slide. Okay. This is nth root. Nth root means the word or the item coming here, nth root of when you multiply n numbers together. When you multiply x, x2, x3, x4, these are the series data points. Like a series has been given for the marks, somebody has got 2 marks, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. If you multiply these all and you find their nth root means fifth root, because they have total number of observation to the value of 5. So this will be your geometric mean. Okay, for arithmetic mean we add our numbers and divide, but for geometric mean we use multiplication and roots only. So this is the use of geometric mean. Okay, and this is where it is used. This is used primarily for mathematician, economists, and core statisticians who pursue of the career as a data science or a data scientist. So they people use these kind of things. Okay, so the next one is harmonic mean. This is also their terminology, and this mean is known as exact mean also, because this give exact figure, but a layman don't use this, and this is again used for this is used from the personals of backgrounds of mathematics and economics and statistics. Okay, so but we have to understand and we have to go through this. The only reason is we cannot leave anything. I have to teach you each and everything from the basics. Okay, even we don't solve their practicals because these are not relevant from the exam point of view. You can go through from the previous papers for past 20 or 25 exams held. Okay, none kind of a questions has ever been asked. Okay, and its probability is very much low. So that's why we are not supposed to find the practicals, but concept matter is to be understood. So harmonic mean is reciprocal. Reciprocal means when we make something in its own division. Okay, so if I am finding the reciprocal of x, what would be the value? The value would be 1 divided by x. If I'm to find the reciprocal of y, this will be 1 divided by b. So this means reciprocal of arithmetic mean of the reciprocals of data values. Now, again, you have not understood this, but now within 1 minute, you would understand that reciprocal of all the data points, reciprocal of all the data points. When you find this value and you find their arithmetic mean, reciprocal arithmetic mean, because arithmetic mean is find as total divided by number, but its reciprocal is number divided by total. Okay, so this is reciprocal of a single data points. Okay, understand me completely. Reciprocal of a single data points or data values, and this thing n is coming on the numerator. That means a reciprocal of arithmetic mean. So this is how the harmonic mean is obtained, and this measure is 2 is valid only data that measures absolutely on a strictly positive scale. You can leave this as well, but you have to understand the concept matter only. So this is very simple to understand. When you find the reciprocal of arithmetic mean of reciprocal of data values, then this is the result of a harmonic mean. Okay, so now at last what we have to do, we have already understood about the different kinds of measures of a central tendency. The first was one arithmetic mean. We understood that completely. That was the layman's average. Then we understood about median. This was positional average. Then we understood about mode. This is most frequently occurring item. Then we understand about geometric mean. This is geometric mean, which is found by multiplication and nth root. And the last one is harmonic mean, okay, which is find on the basis of the reciprocals. So in this way, we can find this. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to understand properties of arithmetic mean. Don't bother. I shall not burdenize you, because properties have to be understood for arithmetic mean only. You don't need to go through from properties of median, mode, then harmonic mean. Although geometric means properties have been written in the notes as well. But if you understand these properties, these are not long in items. If you understand these, it will be very easy for you to go through for 1 or 2 readings for geometric mean only. So that's why now I have to move with the properties of arithmetic mean. And if this lecture is, if I have to take third lecture as well, then you have to join, okay? Because we have to complete this topic by now. So properties of arithmetic mean can be understood by only those students who have understood the basics of arithmetic mean, okay? So the first property says sum of deviations of items from the actual mean is always 0. Okay, from the arithmetic mean is always 0. What does that mean? That means there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, there is 4, there is 5. These are data points. This is a series, individual series. If I am going to find its mean, it would be 3. And if I make the deviations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, like 1 minus 3, 2 minus 3, 3 minus 3, 4 minus 3, 5 minus 3, then their total would be 0. Total would be 0. Why? 1 minus 3 comes to be minus 2, minus 1, then 0, then 1, then 2. And if you make the total of these, this will be 0. And this is the first property of arithmetic mean. Okay. I hope you would have understood this completely. This is sum of deviations of items from the actual mean is always 0. Only this thing you have to learn. Okay. Then sum of scared deviations of the items from arithmetic mean is minimum. Minimum means, so we have taken the deviations. If we scare these deviations, like scare, if we make their scares of each and every one, then we get the value of 4, then 1, then 0, then 1, then 4. The total will be 10, and that will be minimum if we take deviation from anything else. Okay, so this value comes to be minimum. This property is saying sum of scared deviations of items from arithmetic mean is minimum. That means less than the sum of a scared deviation of item from any other value. So this is the second property. So the third one is the mean of the n observation is this. Suppose the mean comes to be this, and if you plus one item to all the observation, then the new mean shall be mean plus p. Okay, that is very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we are making its mean, we have found its mean. Suppose after finding mean, we suddenly got to know that some value was missing in all. If we are plussing, making sum of constant item to all the values, then the new mean shall be mean previous mean plus 1. Okay, so this is the next property. If each observation is increased by p, the mean of the new observation will be this. Now the next one is the mean of n observation is this. Suppose mean is this, then this property is saying if each observation is decreased, so this is a minus sign only. If each observation is decreased, like instead of plussing, instead of making sum, I am deducting a value, then the new mean shall be previous mean minus 1. Okay, so this is the concept. If each observation is decreased by p, the mean of the new observation is previous mean minus p. So this is the concept. Okay, we move further. This is again, we have gone through from the property of plussing or making sum of a specific item. Then we have gone through from subtraction as well. Now we have to go through from multiplication. So if each observation is multiplied by a non-zero number p, if this is multiplied by p, okay, again, instead of minus multiplying by a specific value, then the new mean shall be previous mean multiplied by that particular value. Okay, and same is the case for a division, and this is the next property. If each observation is divided by a non-zero number p, remember, divided by, then the new mean will be previous mean divided by that particular number. Okay, so this is the concept you have to learn. So that slide was left blank only for the reason I wanted to teach this but I genuinely believe that if you have listened this particular example, then you would have understand the example of division as well. Okay, so this is the case. So now what we have to do, so this is the another property. What does this property says? That the mean is not affected by change in origin. Mean is not affected by change in. Let very deeply try to understand what I'm going to tell you. This means that value, that for any value of assumed mean, the value of arithmetic mean remains the same. Understand this completely. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have found the mean of 3. Mean of 3. Okay, but if you remember, there were some other formulas for finding mean, like individual series, then shortcut methods, then step deviation method. And in those methods, we used to pre-calculate an assumed mean. This was pre-calculated at those time, if you remember these. And I believe that you are at least this much sound, that you remember somewhat what you have gone through. Okay. So if we have found assumed mean, we are trying to find the actual mean, and this assumed mean can never affect the value of actual mean. You can take anything as the assumed mean. You can take 4 as assumed mean, you can take 2 as assumed mean, you can take 3 as assumed mean, but the actual value of mean, arithmetic mean, shall remain consistent and it cannot be changed. Okay. So this is known as the next property. This means the mean is not affected by any change in origin. So now we have to move further. This is the last property. I'm not going to explain it right now, because when the concept of a hypothesis comes, then we have to understand it very deeply. Okay. That means standard error of arithmetic mean is always less than that of any other measure of central tendency. A very brief explanation I'm going to give you. That is saying that standard error of arithmetic mean. Okay, standard error of arithmetic means mean that standard error of median or mode is always greater than arithmetic mean. So this is the line only. You can remember this line or anything else, but this is important. Okay. So in this way, I believe that I have taught you this concept, and you have to understood this in a very clear-cut manner, because these things are very relevant from exam point of view. Although our experience says that question is not asked from these specific topics, but going through from these was very important. The only reason being that it's very necessary to understand these all for the next upcoming video lectures, because there will be dispersion, there will be the concept of the skewness, then correlation, then regression. These kind of things we have to study. Okay. So finally, I have written, I'm going to write here something again, just to take a very close look of if you are regular or not. This is that on regular basis, I'm giving you the tests. The test series are separate. I think some students do not know, because they are not appearing in the test on daily basis. I shall explain you how to open this. You just have to log in the website. You have to sign up, login. Your plan shall be activated. A complete 100 days test series are already lying there, and you have to go through from these test series. Then previous papers are already lying there. If we are giving you each and everything, you are not supposed to go anywhere else. Okay. So we are giving anything. The only thing you have to do is to be regular and to obey each and every instruction being provided by me. The fourth one, you can never skip. If you are very busy, then you can skip live video. Otherwise, recorded video you have to see, not for one time, for 2 or 3 times. Okay, so that again and again your concepts are clear. Then go through from notes. These should be your strategy. Okay. And lastly, in the evening time, evaluate yourself whether you have learned something new this day or not. Okay. So this is all by my side, and I don't think anything is left. The note shall be provided to you, and the recorded version of this video is going to be made right now, and this shall also be uploaded. So for the next lecture, it shall be informed tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. This is Gurpal Singh from Gursur Education. Thank you so much.